Welcome back to another Wayfinder video as we continuing our journey going through all the character and classes that will be at launch. And of course, if you missed any of the previous video, link above, because today we are going to be talking about Kyros, from his ability to weapon to backstory and so much more heroic Kyros. Well, that's going to be a separate video coming in the next few days, but you better believe we're going to talk about what this and that is. But nonetheless, for today, it's going to be just a normal Kyros. And of course, I do want to give a very special thank you to everybody over on patreon.com/Maconn or 1K for subscribing at the Lunatil. Thank you, my dude. As well as everyone that is subscribing over on twitch.tv/troymaconn or hitting that wonderful join button here on YouTube. Link in the description to how you can support the channel and keep any more Wayfinder videos coming. And of course, with that, let's go ahead, let's jump into this and let's discuss Kyros. So to start off with Kyros, this is a very interesting class since it can be like a little bit of a mix of melee with a little bit of magic, which we will get to in a moment. But as far as where he play at far difficultness, he is only roughly about 1.5, so this is a little bit more a new player friendly, which is fantastic since I know Kyros is kind of one of the favorites right now leading into the launch of Wayfinder. And of course, that character is a offensive character, so I bet to be doing a little more damage here, but not quite to the point of taking on a tank by any means. So if y'all looking for a DPS character, well, that might be one for you. But when it comes to his abilities, so let's go ahead and start off with a Savage Wake. So this ability, as you can see, will be doing a ground technique where you can be shooting out energy in front, and pretty much any enemy in front of you at a certain range will be hit by this. To start off, you're only going to be able to do roughly one of these, but as you have noticed, there is the little magical orb floating around, and of course, the more you have of the, which is Arcane Fragment, the more you can use this ability, so you can start comboing them back and forth. We will go more into detail momentarily about Arcane Fragment, but for now, this is a very good ability if you got enemies at mid-range, or if you have a whole crowd of enemy in front of you that you want to go ahead and attack. And our next ability is Cypher Radiant. So, as we just talked about with the Fragment, let's start diving into that a little bit here, because this ability will actually play into that mechanic. So to start off here, by using this ability, you will go ahead and release a wave of energy to enemies around you, or in the case of this, in front of you, that you will, of course, do damage to, as well as absorb some arcane power that will, of course, reduce the cooldown and gather arcane fragment. So this is going to be a very good way to farm and collect the fragment to then use with abilities that we have talked about, as well as maybe some of the ones coming up as well. And our next ability is Arcane Force. So what they're going to do is, of course, pretty much allow you to put a quote-unquote dot or a status effect on a enemy that as the enemy take more melee damage or damage in general, that will build up, and at a certain point will blow up and do X amount of damage depending on how much damage it have taken through melee. So they're going to be a very good ability, especially in party, to knock out a crap ton of damage if you have a full team attacking that enemy with that ability on it. And our last ability is Hand of Awakening. So this is a pretty straightforward ability, which will do massive damage to an enemy in a large radius that is surrounding you. So this is another good AoE ability if you have a decent amount of people around you. So as you can see, very simple, straight to the point, but DPS and AoE is always welcome in a DPS class. So let's go ahead and actually fully jump into the passive ability and discuss exactly how Arcane Fragment is going to work here. So of course, the ability is pretty much, I guess you could say, kind of like Kyros' mana pool, I guess you could say, because this is the gathering of energy, and the main reason to do this is, of course, by taking part in using the Wake ability as well as radius on enemy, you will go ahead and collect some fragment, as well as you're going to be able to collect the fragments here also by doing attacks. So the more damage you do in fatal succession, the more you will also build this up with then playing to use an ability, and vice versa. So this is mainly going to be our main pool of energy you can be coming from to do some of your abilities here. And of course, by consuming these for your attacks, it will do, of course, not only allow you to do the ability, but also do a little extra damage as well. For any of you that are coming from PSO, since I know a lot of you all, think of this as your PP meter over there. The more damage you do, as well as the ability you use, you will assume fatal and fatal to allow you to do the ability in fatal rotations, which is fantastic if you are someone who want to play the DPS mage heal. But from there, let's go ahead and talk about his signature weapon, which is Epitaph. This is a sight weapon, so all of you who want to also play a little more on the heal side, I get technically, and you want more a mid-range, long-range weapon here with the sight, congratulations, he gonna have that for you. And then, speaking of the weapon, let's go ahead and talk about what exactly ability is going to be coming from that weapon with Arcane Harvest. So this ability itself is pretty much made up of you being able to do a special attack, which will have you spin around hitting multiple enemy in 360 degree. Think of it as Link charge up sword ability. And of course, by hitting enemy, you will then get ability power, or in that case, the arcane fragment, to also help build up. So once again, everything about the character is mainly revolving around collecting this energy source for your ability, including your weapon ability. And just know, since this is stated to be a ability power, that will also work if another character decide to use it, will start working towards their own personal gauge as well from hitting enemy with a specific attack. But with that, that is everything you need to know gameplay wise about Kyros. So let's go ahead and jump into the story of where Kyros come from and what he doing inside of Wayfinder. So we're going to go ahead and throw it over to Luna for that.
There is a place known as the Kingdom of Ashes. Bones are scattered across beaches of black sand, and charred remnants of crystal spires still reach toward the sky. This has been a shunned ruin for thousands of years, but Kyros still remembers it as it once was, a glorious civilization whose achievements dwarf those of the Avar Imperium or the Maze. He remembers studying the nature of reality itself, and even learning how to transcend his own flesh to become a being of pure mystical energy, bound to a skeleton of arkstone and crystal. While he possesses devastating power, Kyros is first and foremost a scientist. He is determined to stop the gloom. He will not watch another civilization be destroyed. But he believes the key to defeating the gloom is to understand it. Kyros is a deadly wormage and a brilliant researcher. But he has been lost in the void for countless centuries, and there's much he has forgotten or never knew. What became of his people? How did his wondrous nation become the Kingdom of Ashes? And did he have something to do with it? The answers must be out there, waiting to be found.
And there you have it, though, everything you need to know about Kyros, from his weapon to ability to his backstory heal. And hopefully this help you decide if you want to play him as your main class heal. And if so, make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells, and let me know below in the comments if you're going to be playing someone else, or are you going to be playing him or his heroic version at launch, which is of course tomorrow at noon Central. And of course I will be live for the launch event right here on YouTube, as well as over on twitch.tv/troymaconn. So come on over, say hi, and also subscribe so you don't miss out on the YouTube stuff as well, because we got plenty of Wayfinder video to come over the next few weeks, months, years. We will see, because I am over the moon for Wayfinder, and honestly, I cannot wait to see what's going to come at 1.0. But with that, that's going to go ahead and do it for me for today. And of course, like always, I will go ahead and see you in the comments.